Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Now, I think yesterday we saw how do we create staircase, and we built certain staircase also, built the component staircase. Okay, and we started editing the component staircase like the run edit. In the run edit, we saw how do we edit the threads and the risers. Okay, today we are supposed to see how do we can edit the landing type and the supports, basically the side supports of the staircase basically. Okay, this one need to open up. Okay, right. And continue with this particularly file. Now in this staircase type, I don't have a landing over here. So suppose we want to create a landing on the top of this staircase. So I have not created any landing for this type of staircase. So if you want to create a landing for the staircase, and come into the plan view, select the staircase, and then we can click on the option which says edit stairs from the top. Right, so I'm going to click on edit stairs, and then I can take the landing options, and then I can sketch the landing. Okay, or I can pick the two runs to add the landing actually, but I don't have another run over here, so I'm going to sketch the landing. So I'm going to create a landing, a rectangular landing shape. So I'm going to sketch this landing up to here. Okay, so that's the landing line that I've sketched it. The green line that you see, that's the sketch line of your landing. And then I can hit on the finish mode to complete the landing, and one more time finish to complete the steps. Now if I look into my 3D view, you'll be able to see the landing created over here on the top of it. And if you have already created a type of staircase, a straight type of staircase, but this is in a cast in place type actually. So we can change the type of the staircase. So if you want to change this type, you select the stair, change the type of the stair to the type that we wanted. Maybe I can select yes, custom assemble stairs, and make sure that the desired number matches with the actual number. 24. Here we go. can see the landing is also there and applied it. The materials are already applied it to the landing. But what if I wanted to apply a different material to the landing? So if you want to apply a different material to the landing, or if you want to change the thickness of the landing or anything, you select the stair, come into edit type, and when you come into the edit type, you get this type property dialog box, and it says over here the landing type. Okay, so the landing type over here, it says non-monolithical landing, which you can select it. Another type property dialog box open up. So I'm going to duplicate this type. Okay, and I'm going to call this as custom landing assembly steps. Okay. Now, when you look into the type property dialog box of the landing, okay, it says same as run. Okay, which means whatever the thickness of the threads I have applied it, the same thickness would be also applied to your landing. Whatever material that I have applied it to the threads, the same material will be applied to the landing. And whatever profile that I have selected to the threads, it is applied same to the landing, because the same as the run option is being switched on. Okay, so I need to uncheck this. So if I uncheck it, and so now I can change the material of the landing. I can change the thickness of the landing. I can even change the nosing length, the nosing profile, and the applying of nosing profiles basically. It means I can totally change its type itself basically. So I'm going to give a different material to my landing. So new material has been created. We can rename this material. Okay, we can name this as landing. Stairs landing. Find a different category of material. Okay, a very different material. So as you can see, the landing has a very different material finish, and the rest of the stairs, the steps and everything, the riser and the threads are having different material actually. So once again, we can select the staircase, come into the edit type, and then we can also change the thickness. It is currently 50 mm thick. Maybe we want it 100 mm thicker. We can change the thickness. So only the landing thickness will increase. The riser thickness and the thread thickness won't change. Okay. So once again, come to edit type, go into the landing type to change the parameters of the landing. You can also give the nosing length, like 50 nosing length. You can also apply the nosing profile for the landing. And you can also apply the position of the nosing. So maybe if you want it on all the three sides, you can select front, left, and right. So it will apply it to your all the three sides of the landing actually. Now supposingly you wanted to edit the, just a minute please. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now if you wanted to edit the supports basically, so we have two supports in the staircase, especially when you're using an assembled staircase basically. So we have the side supports and the middle supports in the staircase. So if we select the stairs, come into the edit type, you have this option over here for supports. So you have right support, then you have left support, and you have the middle support basically. Okay, so first let me start with the middle support. So the right support I have checked as none, the left support also have checked it as none, and the middle support has an untick option basically. So what will happen is that the staircase will be not having any sort of supports basically. So there's no middle support or the right support or the left support. Once again, come into the edit type, check this option for middle support, and if I apply this, there will be a middle support available in the stairs or in the step, which you can again select this, and we can also change this parameter of this middle support. If I select this, come into the edit type. So currently the middle support is on, and there is only number of middle support is only one basically. So if you wanted to give three middle supports, we can give three of it. And if we give like two, we can give two of this middle support. Right. And want to give one, you can give one as well. So how many number of middle supports you want, you can apply it. And you can also change the type of the middle support. It's like you can apply the material to the middle support. So I'll just duplicate this. I'm going to call this as middle support dash yes, and this test. And we can apply a different material to that middle support as well. We can create another new material. Middle support will have a different material from the stairs. You can also apply or you can change the settings of thickness and everything to the middle support as well. So the structural depth is of 150. So if I increase this to 250, um, slightly more depth will come in. Like if I increase to 450 mm, it gets more and more bigger actually. And it starts losing the offsets also. So it should not more than exceed than 250. So structural depth on the run, I can keep it to 150. Okay, then you have this option for structural depth on the landing. You can prioritize that as well as 150. Total depth also you can change it. So let's give total depth. I'll give it like 500. So if I just maybe in case if I increase the run to now 450 now in the mid for the landing, won't stick out. Basically, you can see it's like still maintains the connection with the risers actually. So I'll give the total depth a little bit more, 650, so that it maintains the connections with the risers and stays connected actually. Right. So you can plan to change this. You can even change the thickness. This 50 mm, you can make it to 30 mm or whatever thickness you wanted to apply. The width is the thickness of that carriage, middle support carriage. Similarly, if we wanted to apply supports on the left and the right side of the staircase. So you have these options like right support and left support. So I can select right support, it says none over here. So I can select. So now if I go into right support, there are two options of support. One is the stringer option, the other one is the carriage option. So suppose if I apply the stringer option in the right support, and on the left support, if I apply the carriage support, this is what I get. So the one on the right side is the stringer, and one on the left side that you see is the carriage support. Basically, stringer support will be like close and cut it according to the prices and the threads. Okay, select them, come into the edit type, and I want to edit the right support. I'll come into the right support type, and I can click on this option, and I can duplicate this type stringer on the right side. So I can name this as stringer. Assemble stairs. I can apply a different material. The profile, I'll keep it as default right now. What you can do is you can apply a different profile as well if you wanted to. Instead of using default section profile, you can use the G-shape profile. You can flip the profile if you wanted to flip it on the outside direction. Generally, when you gonna add steel actually. So you can apply different material. Instead of wooden material, you can apply the steel material or iron material. You can give the structural depth as well. So maybe if I give like 300 mm as a depth, go down, reduce it to 100 mm depth, 100 mm depth, even less, 50 mm of it. I don't give any depths. Just come back here, stick it out. Generally, you see these kind of stairs, especially in the public bridges. Okay. Even for the landing, also you can adjust that. That's because the landing has the apply nosing profile applied it. So if I say only on the front side, it will only apply to the front of the objects. Middle support actually that is coming in of this middle support. To edit the side support, the right side support and the left side support. Once we can come into parameters, you can change the landing depth or the run depths. You can flip the sections, you can use the default section to the right ascend the staircase. That's the spring. And for the left side, it is having carriage. So if I come on the left side view, that's the carriage. Select them, apply a different material, duplicate this, apply material, same. We can apply the depth on the landing, depth on the run, total depth, or even the width or the thickness or anything. Once we apply that, you can see we have carriage the material, okay, and the springers with the material as well. You can totally customize your ascending staircase. Edit them now. Similarly, if you select your cast in place staircase, you can add the riser and the thread materials to the cast in place staircase as well. Come into the edit type, we'll duplicate this type, add the run type. So then the run type, it is right now 150 depth run. You can come over here, duplicate this, and we have underside surface option. So we have two surface option. One is the smooth surface option, and one is the step surface option. If I select step surface option, I'll get in a step form. So it is the RCC, but in the form of step. So the underside of the staircase is not been uh, having smooth surface. It means cut it into the step form basically. Okay, so the base slabs are in step form. So once again, if I communicate type, change this from step to smooth. Okay, you can even change the structural depth. So if I wanted to just 100 mm, 100 mm, 120 mm, or 150. Also apply the material. You can add threads on the top. So enable threads, provide the thickness. can provide the thread nosing profile or nosing length. You can also apply a different material. For some granite stone actually. You can even apply the risers, and I can apply the riser material as well. Apply the same material. And even the precast staircase. So select the stair, apply, duplicate it first, and then you can apply all the materials that you want to apply to the precast staircase as well. Now, whenever you are using cast in place of precast staircase, we don't require supports, so we'll not take supports. If you add them, that's what it's going to look up basically. It's going to warn you also that you won't require it. Still, you can add them basically on the precast or the casting place staircase as well. It's only mostly and majorly used when we are using assemble staircase, basically the side supports, okay, and the middle support. Basically. Okay. This is clear. Yeah, the clear.
Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now there will be a little problem when I use these cast in place staircase basically. I'll show you what errors you will get it off when you are using these kind of staircase. Delete all of this. And I'll create a slab actually. Copy paste this slab on the other levels. So I'm just going to copy paste this slab, select this slab, copy, paste, align to select levels. Second level, and we create a straight staircase from level 1 to level 2. Level 1 to level 2. Creates 24 number of steps, or maybe 25. So straight staircase, 26 steps. I'm not going to take a single staircase, but I'm going to take the cast in place staircase. Very straight in the stairs. I'm going to click on the finish editing mode. Just create it outside. I'm going to move this inside. I'm going to delete this railings. I don't need these. Then right now, the first thing is that we don't have a cut in the slab actually. So we need to create a shaft for the stairwell. So for creating the shaft for the stairwell, I'm going to come into the level in which level you wanted to create a shaft. So I'm going to create on this slab actually, which is on the second level. So I'm going to come into the second level, and when I come into the architectural tab, there is an option called for opening, and we're going to take shaft opening. Shaft opening. I'm going to create a rectangular shape shaft starting from this point. You can take it up till the whole stair, but I'm going to take it up till half of the staircase only. You can lock these lines so that in future, if you move the stairs, even the shaft will move along with your steps. And then I'm going to take the top connection height up to level number 6. Top constraint to level 6 is starting from level 2 to level number 6. And then I'm going to click on the finish editing mode. Now shift it to your 3D view. You have a cut opening in the.
Sir, could you please re-show how to make the shaft part?
So we wanted to create a shaft on the slab basically there. So the slab has been drawn on level number 2. Okay, so when I select this, it tells me that it's on level number 2. So you need to come into the level number 2. Okay, now when you come into the level number 2, come into the architectural tab. And when you come into the architectural tab, you see opening options are being given over here. There's an option called shaft opening. Right, so we're going to pick that. You can draw a rectangular shape. Okay, you can lock these lines. Make sure the base constraint is level 2. And the top constraint, you can take it up till level number 6, or maybe level number 3, or level number 4. So I'll take it till up till level number 6, because in future if I've added more number of slab, it will cut throughout. And then I'm going to hit on the finish editing mode. Now if you look into the 3D view, as we have the shaft. Now if I like another copy paste this slab on the another level, so even this level slab is been cutting. Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Now I'm gonna the section view of the staircase, and I'm gonna show you what error we're gonna face basically. So everything over here looks fine actually. Okay, but if you see, if I go into the level or in level 2, and if I cut a section view, go to that view, you see this doesn't match actually. Like it doesn't join, it doesn't match. Should go above, this step should match. Okay, so it doesn't goes that way basically. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a landing. Okay, so that it does match with the stairs. So once again, I'm going to come into the level 2, select the stairs, click on edit stairs, tick the landing option, and I'm going to sketch a landing. Rectangular shape. Then click on the finish editing mode, and one more time finish editing mode. Once again, if you look into the landing thickness is quite big than the slab thickness. So once again, we're going to select the stairs, come into the edit type. You can see the landing type is of 300 mm thickness. So we're going to change this. We're going to come into the landing type option. You can duplicate this type, call this as 150 mm landing, and to change this thickness to from 300 to 150. Okay, still there is a little problem basically. You can see this finish is like going inside, so I need to push it up basically there. Okay, so I knew this thickness of the threads is 20 mm, right? So what we need to do is we need to push this more offset above. So you see over here there is an option called top offset. So I'm going to put the top offset to 20 mm, and now it prioritizes. It's connected off as well. And then you can take the modify joint geometry tools, both the elements. That's because the shaft is coming in the middle of that. That's a problem. You can select the shaft, come back on the level 2, edit the sketch boundary, and sketch it a little bit. Okay, sorry, I just forgot the line to cut very properly. This is the shaft line. Edit sketch up till the landing. Finish mode. Now if you look at the section view, that's proper and correct way to join the stairs. Again, take the joint geometry tool, join this to this slab. So it will connect off. Joint. 3D view also, that's perfect. You can see it's like prioritizing my finish steps as well. If you wanted to edit your shaft a little bit more, you can come into the edit sketch, come to the level. Right.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, in case we do not want the landing over, then we just want to continue the slab. So then, how would we connect the slab to the staircase slab
Uh, if you don't
without
want
the
the landing,
landing?
so
Yeah.
yeah, you can delete the landing. So I'll just come into edit layer and I'll click on delete the landing. Click on the finish mode. Okay, I'll just edit this shaft also. So that ends up over here. Right. Now you just have to make sure that it just offset. This top offset has been given basically. Okay, but the problem would be that it won't connect in basically. So when you will be seeing in the section view, you see it like it doesn't connects off. So this waist slab doesn't get connects with the slab bottom.
But
So
then,
what?
so you can see like a material difference between the two because the slab would have a maybe a different tile or something.
Yes. So you can change the material for the landing if you wanted. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So a little disadvantage is there in this Revit actually. They have not fixed this bugs yet. That they have not sorted out the fixing of the landing with the waist slab of the staircase basically. So to solve that, to resolve that temporary, what we do is we just create a landing of the staircase and then we connect it. Okay. So the next class we will start with the project, so we'll understand more clearly about this type of staircase landing and connection of the slab actually. Okay, still we are left off with something more in the staircase, that is about adding railings actually. Once we complete railing and ramps, and then we start with the project, how we can create a complete project using these built element tools of
So
walls.
I have one more doubt. So for the lower parts, would the staircase slab would continue into the plinth beam. So how would that
Yes,
connection be? Do we just draw the beam and then use joint geometry
yes,
to
you
connect
will draw
it?
the beam and join, but you should make sure that your beam material and stair material both are same. Means the structural material of the beam and the structural material of the stair should both should be same to join use the joint geometry. But if the materials are different, the structural materials are different, then it might not join it basically. So you can just check what are the structural materials. So when I select the stairs, when I come into the edit type, and when I look into the run type, you can see the monolithical material is concrete cast in situ. Okay, so the same material should be to your slab or to your beams as well. So when I select the slab, it is the same. So now if I use the join geometry tool, it will join both the element basically. So this line will wear off basically. But right now, if I try to use the join geometry tool, it will not wear off. That's because of the base slab being thickness, and it is overhitting my this what do you call it? The shaft actually basically. Okay. So once I resolve this, it will go away basically. Or you can just reduce the waist lap thickness a bit, slightly more is left off. Okay, so try this option first, so that from tomorrow onwards we can start with adding railings actually in the projects. How we can add railings to the staircase. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Then. So see you guys tomorrow at same time.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thanks, sir. Bye.